Hello everyone, welcome to Market Simulation Call for Fall 2022 release. My name is Anshuman Vaidya and today is September 8, 2022. Calls and webinars are recorded for stakeholder convenience, allowing those who are unable to attend to listen to the recordings after the meetings. The recordings will be publicly available on the ISO webpage for a limited time following the meetings. The recordings and any related transcriptions should not be reprinted without the ISO permission. We'll talk about the following agenda today. We'll talk about map stage availability. We'll talk about connectivity testing timelines for fall 2020 release. We'll talk about the timelines for market simulation initiatives for this release. And then we'll talk about any updates to system interface changes. And then we'll have a deep dive on different initiatives in this release. We've also added known issues to today's presentation. And then we'll talk about next steps. You can always log into portalmap.kaiser.com to get latest information regarding map stage availability. Currently, we have the Sierra maintenance going on till 13th of September. And we have an upcoming map stage maintenance for master file UI and API on 9th of September and CMRI and OSS maintenance on 14th of September. Currently, the patch on 9th of September for master file is looking very promising. We have been testing on map test, and barring any issues coming up in our testing, we are still looking forward of deploying that patch on 9th of September. Anybody has any questions regarding map stage availability? All right, moving on. So for connectivity testing, we have OWL system available to do the connectivity testing. We'll have master file system available for connectivity on 14th of September, and CMRI OSS available on 15th of September for connectivity testing. Anybody has any concerns regarding this? All right, moving on. We have the same timelines still good to go from the last meeting. Anybody has any questions regarding the market simulation dates for these 4 projects, please let me know.
Hi, Inchman. This is Chunyu from PG&E. Just on the last slide, I forget to ask the ALFS's provision. Any updates for that?
Thank you, Chunyu, for that question. I've included that in our known issues slide too, but it's still pending for our SMA review. We are having internal discussions on it, and I will let you know as soon as we have a response on it.
Thank you.
Sure. All right. Any other questions? All right, moving on. So now let's talk about system interface changes. They're same as we discussed in the last meeting. No updates here on the slide. We're still waiting to get a firm date on the cyber patches. That still is shown as October. I don't have a firm date as of this meeting, but soon we'll have a date on that. Anybody has any questions regarding these system interface changes for cyber, master file, and OWL? All right, moving on. And then these are the further system interface changes coming for CMRI and OSS. Anybody has any questions regarding these changes?
Yes, hi, this is Tony Gerard from Power Settlements. I was not able to join Tuesday's call, but I was on the release user group. So I'm just trying to, is production target still 11.1 or is it going to be later?
So it's probably
group. Okay.
That's a great question, Tony. I mean, we still haven't received a firmer date for production release for at least hybrid resources phase 2B project. We are thinking that it will get extended, but since we don't have the firm date yet, any change notice, so we have kept it as 11/1, but it is poised to get changed.
Okay. Just from a planning perspective, I just trying to understand if it's still likely to be 11/1 for planning purposes.
And I will let you know more formal date as soon as I have them. I'm
Okay.
sorry, everyone. I'm having a technical issue on my end. Can you please give me a minute? My system just crashed. I'm still trying to log in. I'm sorry, I'm having the system issue and it's still not letting me log in. Is anybody else from the Kaiser side facing the same problem?
Benjamin, this is Bob. I am seeing the same thing here.
Yes, for me, Assad.
Yeah, same for Elizabeth Caldwell.
All right, well, I believe that we'll have to do this meeting without my screen. I do have something memorized from the meeting, so we're gonna go. So we didn't have any change on the timeline. We didn't have any changes in the system interface changes that are coming in. The next, we were going to dive into the individual projects. And since I don't have the slides up, I'm just going to go with the names. Anybody has any questions for the CPE project? That is, we'll have market simulation on 22nd of September.
Hi, Anshuman. This is Ray calling from PG&E. I just wanted to confirm, starting on September 19th, as market participants will be able to submit RA plans for the months of September and October. I think we talked about this earlier on, but the code in MapStage will allow us to submit those 2 months, correct?
That is correct. We're going to change our system variable so that you are able to, update the plans for this current month also, and you would be able to update for the upcoming month too. And you're going to have this available to you starting 14th of September.
Okay, starting the 14th of September. Okay, good to know. Thank you, Anshuman.
No problem. Any other questions for CPE? All right, I do have one more information regarding the CPE project. We have opened up the MapState system to allow provisioning. So if you want to register a CID, I believe for CPE, you should be able to do so now. Anybody has any questions on that? All right, moving on to the Hybrid Resources Project. We're still planning to have market simulation on 20th of September for that. Anybody has any questions regarding this project? Perfect. As I mentioned earlier, that we're going to have a master file patch going on 9th of September, that's tomorrow. Then we're going to try to set up all the data by 12th of September, and then we're going to plan to open the master file system and the whole system on 14th of September for market participants to get a feel of the Hybrid Resource Project. And then we're going to plan to do market simulation starting the 20th of September. Anybody has any questions regarding the Hybrid Resources Project?
Yeah, Instrument, this is Bob.
Hi, Bob, go ahead.
It looks like the system's coming back up, so if you wanted to try again, just an FYI.
Thank you. Let me continue like this, and I will log in a few minutes. The next, so anybody has any questions regarding the Hybrid Resources Project? All right, moving on to next one. Next one we have is Frp Deliverability Project. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to have market simulation for this at least starting 27th of September. I cannot see my screen, but anybody has any questions regarding that? All right, moving on. Next project we'll have is RDRR project. And my screens are back up, so let me share.
We can see it now.
Perfect, thank you. I think we covered these two projects. We are at Reliability Demand Resource Response Phase 2 project. We're planning to have scenarios on 29th of September, and the scenario document will be available here on the following link. Anybody has any questions regarding this project? All right, moving on. I have included this slide for known issues, even though we don't have any code deployed, so I wouldn't call it known issues, but we do have some pending CD tickets that we're still working on. The first one is there's questions regarding AL's API provisioning for the hybrid project. We're reviewing it internally, and I'll get back to you on that CD ticket soon enough. Then we have some pending CD tickets regarding the hybrid resources creation in master file, and we're waiting for the code deployment to make those changes. Lastly, I have a similar question. I have a question regarding the CMRI report query for the FRP project, and our SMEs are reviewing that. Are there any other CD tickets that you want to add into this list, or you need to escalate? We can talk about it here.
Hi, Instrument. This is Chenyu. So in the FRP training, PG&E, I did ask a question on behalf of our SMEs about whether CAISO can simulate the FRP to just make sure that the FRU, FRD will be the non-zero value. I don't know if, because I recall that Radha mentioned that we should have this conversation in this meeting, and which is making perfect sense. And I just don't know if you guys will be able to share anything, or is that something that you can share next time?
So I'll get armed with more information in the next meeting for sure. Currently, I can share that this FRP project, we have, I believe, unstructured scenarios. And for that, what we are hoping is that these values will be driven by the input that is given by you. But then again, once you have all the information, if you could put a CD ticket on it, we'll get you an official response from our SMEs or how we're going to proceed with that situation.
Okay. All right. I also briefly talked with Trang about it prior to the meeting. So I can, if you still want a CD ticket, I can. However, if you pull out those two scenarios for CAISO market participants, the action it's not we not required to do anything. It's mostly for the EIM partners.
I see. So perfect. So let's do this. Please give me a detailed question on the CD ticket, and let me talk with my SMEs and get you an answer on that.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Anu. Anybody has any other questions? All right, I guess this was my last slide. We do have next meeting scheduled on September 12th at 2 p.m. And if you haven't mentioned any other CD tickets that you want to escalate, you can feel free to do so now. All right, hearing none. Well, thank you everyone for joining the meeting. We'll see you back again on September 12th.